Coming out of Tokyo, voting is underway in that no confidence motion being put forward against the Japanese Prime Minister. CNN's Kyung La joins us now live from our bureau in Tokyo. Kyung, you have an update for us. What's happened?
Yeah, John, if I could direct your everyone to take a look at this live picture that we're getting from our affiliate TV Asahi. And the reason why I want you to look at it, pay attention to the number to your right-hand side at the very bottom, that number that's above 232 votes. That means the Prime Minister can now stay on the job. The no confidence motion that was filed against him to try to boot him from office by the opposition party has failed, and it's failed by quite a bit. Quite a larger margin than what many pundits had expected, what many people in the media were expecting. There were a lot of politicians saying that they wanted the Prime Minister to go. The opposition party said that they had the votes. But when it came right down to it, and we're still watching this vote take place right now, they just didn't have enough. And so the Prime Minister is going to stay on the job, at least for now. Because of all the political threats, the Prime Minister this morning in Tokyo did tell his party that he will eventually resign. What he wants to do, though, is to stay on the job and try to get some of the work, this post-disaster work, done. And there is so much work to be done. There is so much to be done on energy policy, the cleanup at the Fukushima nuclear plant, the rebuilding in the tsunami zone, the housing of many of the victims, the more than 100,000 people who are still living in evacuation centers. So now, hopefully, this political ruckus, at least a speed bump, is behind them, and the Prime Minister can get on to business. The question now, John, will be how effective will this Prime Minister be, because many people within his own political party have threatened to bolt.
Well, that's the question. 293, I think, was the last number I saw there, votes in his favour. Better than many thought, but is he damaged goods now? Can he actually get anything done? Because we know that he's going to be leaving, I guess, within a period of months anyway.
Well, you know, the last four prime ministers would suggest, his four predecessors would suggest that the lifespan of a Japanese prime minister is less than a year. The longest that anyone stuck around was Shinzo Abe, which was exactly 1 year. If the prime minister sticks around up until next week, he will be the longest serving prime minister out of 5. So this prime minister, can he be effective? It's very difficult to tell. It's a matter of whether or not he can pull together a grand coalition between either the opposition, members of the opposition, the members of his own party, try to get some of the splintered party factions all together to get some work done. But he is, as you mentioned, a bit of damaged goods, because he needs to have more political traction in order to get some of these difficult decisions done. The immediate crisis, but also some of those long-term problems that this economy is suffering from.
It seems to me that Japan goes from prime minister to prime minister, as most people have hot dinners, but it does seem at the same time the country continues to function. Have they got into a kind of a functional dysfunction system, if you like?
Yeah, you kind of put it perfectly there. If you talk to most people in Japan, they will say they actually don't care who's sitting in the chair. They feel that the country will continue to operate, in part because the bureaucrats have so much power, that they know how to operate regardless of who is the elected official. The question, though, and this is the bigger problem, is whether or not there can be effective leadership and decisive policy. Part of the reason why Japan has been in 2 decades of economic stagnation, yes, periods of growth, but economic stagnation overall, is because there's been a policy void. And to have some significant shift in policy requires a strong prime minister, something that Japan has not seen for a very, very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyung, thank you. Kyung La for us live in Tokyo. That vote happened a little sooner than we expected, but there you have it. The Japanese Prime Minister survives a vote of no confidence.